everyone, Lisa here. So you'll notice this blue mat down on the ground. This is a new craft mat that I'm going to try out, and I'm going to do a review on it. I'm going to give you my initial review, and then maybe a little later on I'll give you an updated review. This was the craft mat that I was working with, which is the Tim Holtz Ranger craft mat. And it's quite a bit thinner actually. It's kind of like almost like cardstock material, a little bit thinner than that. But you can see like I've got some cuts in it, and that was because of my own fault. Like I used my X-Acto knife and I cut through it. So it did work fine. I just was in the market for buying a new one just because of the cuts on that one. I always had to make sure I was careful. So this is the Imagine craft mat. So I purchased it for $18.40. You might find it a little cheaper. It was at my local craft store, scrapbooking store. So it's, I think the same company that puts out Memento ink is what I think it is. So it says, it's the exact same measurements as the Ranger craft mat, which is 15 by 18. It says that it can withstand heat up to 392 Fahrenheit. I do not know what the Ranger craft sheet is rated for. I looked and I didn't see anything on there. It says a large surface area, protects for workspace and messy spills and overspray. Smooth surface resists project slipping and provides a give for sharper stamped impression. Easy cleanup with soap and water. Adhesives peel right off. Flexible design allows mat to be rolled or folded for portability and easy storage. Usable on both sides, and then it just gives you some tips for cleaning it. So it says for just kind of like for prep for static clean, it says to sprinkle some baby powder over top of it and then just kind of wipe it around and get it all over the place, and then just wipe it with a damp cloth. I just used a kind of like a little bit of a drier baby wipe, and it seemed to work fine. And so that's what I did for the prep. So I'm just going to kind of go through some of the things that you might use on your craft mat, such as a hot glue gun. So I thought the first test for a hot glue gun would be, you definitely get overspray. So we're just going to leave that there for a little bit and let that cool off. I'm just going to get my heat tool ready. The other thing we do is embossing. So I'm just going to get some embossing powder to heat it up. I just picked a random one. So, this is just for test purposes. So I thought the first thing that we would do would be blending. I do a lot of blended surfaces with, I'll use the blue one since I have the blue little dauber out here. So you just take it, and again, if anybody used the craft mat, the Ranger craft mat, they know it's quite a bit of a slick surface, so you do get quite a good blending. And I would say that I was kind of thinking that it might not give a really great blending, but honestly, I think it's about the same. So, I don't know, let's kind of go a little deeper over here. I don't know, I kind of feel the blending is the same as the Ranger craft mat. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a baby wipe, and I'm just going to wipe off the extra ink. And this glue is pretty well dry, so we'll lift that up. So I'm just going to get that to the side for a second. So you can see it's coming right off, no problem. And that ink there is from the lid, so you can see it cleans up quite well. Okay, so another thing is embossing, and this thing says it's really good for stamping on. So we will stamp as well as do embossing, kind of so that we do it all the same step. So I'm just going to use some Distress ink, and it's just because I have it out here. So, and then I'm going to make sure we know that it's going to stamp off no problem. So, or clean up if you stamp off on the sides with the Distress ink. So I'm not going to be worried about that. And Distress ink, because it stays wetter longer, you can definitely emboss with it. And I don't care if I spill, because I want to make sure, I want to see how it cleans up. Thought that would be a good test. So I'm just getting my heat tool all warmed up here. Oh, I'm going to leave this down because it says it can take it, so just don't want it to warp too much though. And it did emboss. There's no warping or anything like that on the mat. It does say that there is a possibility that it may warp with the mat, but that the warping in the mat, like if it bubbles up, it says it will lay flat after it does cool off. So, and I don't see the warping at all. So let's just see how well this cleans off. And the embossing powder cleaned off really well. I'm just going to clean that off. So it seems to clean really well. Okay, so then the other thing is, I'm going to do this because it says you can definitely do this. So this is waterproof ink, so very similar to StazOn. I'm just going to stamp directly onto the mat. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit. I know you guys are probably freaking out, but trust me, I do have some provisions laid out just in case it doesn't work. But it says all you have to do is use solvent cleaner. And I know that you can do that with the Ranger Craft Mat as well. So I'm just going to try initially with this baby wipe. And you can see it comes off pretty well. I'm hoping the camera can pick it up. It's very faint right here. Okay, so that's pretty well almost gone. I'll just wipe it away and maybe you won't get a glare. You can see it's just a little bit right here. So I'm going to try half of it with this Ranger solvent ink. And it definitely removed that. Then I'm going to try, somebody had also said rubbing alcohol. So I'm going to spray the rest of it with rubbing alcohol. And see if that comes off. I mean, the only reason why I have a rag here is just so that I can dry it so that you guys don't get the shine. And you can hardly see it. The alcohol didn't work quite as well as the solvent cleaner, but the solvent cleaner definitely got it all off. So I'm going to just take that again and do that. Okay. Okay, so it's definitely gone now. You can't even see it. So the next thing I thought we would try is, usually Tim Holtz has a technique where he will put a whole bunch of inks down or paints down, and then he'll spray it with water and try and do a blended technique with the ink. I'm just going to leave that here you are here just like that, and we're going to try this. So I'm going to just, you know, kind of just do it exactly like Mr. Tim Holtz would. And I think my ink dauber on that one is just a little bit plugged up, so I'll have to clean that after, but it's good enough for now. Get the pink on there. And this is the Broken China, which you can hardly see, but it is there. That's way too much paint, but that's okay. Give it a little bit of a mist. So you can see it does actually work by blending those together. I'm just going to dry this and see how well it comes off. I'm really going through the mix with this, and I'm going to try, I'm going to set this, see if it works really well or not. Because paint is definitely a hard thing to get off when it's dried on. So we're just gonna and I don't know if you can see, but it's bubbling up right there. The mat is. And I'll show you the mat after I am finished drying all this. I just want to get at least one part of it completely dry. Okay, I got most of it dry, so I'm just going to take this cloth and I'm just going to get the excess off of there. So whatever is dried on will not come off with the baby wipe. So you can see that it won't come off. So we should be able to just clean it with either the solvent cleaner or even this alcohol, rubbing alcohol should work. I need a piece of paper towel. So the alcohol, I don't know if it exactly worked. It got most of it off. I'm thinking this solvent cleaner will definitely get it off. I should also try, yeah, see, that works no problem. I was gonna see if it like scratches off, and yeah, it does, just like the Ranger Craft Mat. So I'm just gonna use a little bit more of that, get rid of that. Okay, so lots of cleaning, I know, but I want to kind of give you guys an idea. So definitely this stuff helps to get it off, the Ranger Stamp Cleaner. I think it's because it's a solvent base that it works really well to, you know, get it a little bit cleaner. So the other thing I wanted to show you is we all know how thin the Ranger Craft Mat is, and it says not to fold it. So this is silicone, so you can totally fold it and it will maintain its shape. You could try and crease it if you wanted to, but it's not going to happen, and it doesn't slip, which that's the part I like about this mat versus the Ranger Craft Mat. I find the Ranger Craft Mat slips around all over the place and it'll be moving all over. So this one, once you get it stuck down, it's stuck. It's not going anywhere. And I really like it. So far, I really enjoy it. I will let you know as time goes on whether it was a good purchase or not. So there you have it. There's my review. I'll talk to you. If you guys have any ideas for me to try out other stuff on this craft mat, let me know and I will try it out, because I definitely wanted to go through at least some of the items that I normally use on a day-to-day basis on it and give it the runaround. So if there's anything else you can think of that I didn't try, let me know and I will give it a go. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.